You're listening to the Be Your Purpose podcast, where every conversation is an opportunity to discover and reconnect to your inner depth so that you can unleash your unique gifts into the world with courage and confidence. I am your host, Courtni Allison, and I started Be Your Purpose with the intention of helping leaders and purpose seekers devoted to their highest potential lean into the voyage within so that we can find soul alignment and really live big, inspiring lives, finding true success and fulfillment from the inside out. Join me every episode as we dive into all things personal growth, emotional intelligence, embodiment wisdom, self-leadership, and my personal approach to energetics. A remembrance that life gets to be lived on and with purpose because we are the purpose. And I fully believe that the inner work is what creates the greatest impact on our personal frequency, our reality, and inspires a ripple effect felt throughout the world. All right, let's get going and dive in. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode. This one's gonna be a good one. I can already tell. And again, just like you've experienced in the previous episodes, I am really just sharing my lived experience. I'm sharing what this journey of leadership and personal growth has been like for me. And so keeping with that theme is leading me to chat with you guys about the personal development industry, the personal growth industry. And this industry is near and dear to my heart. I am a part of it. It is, what I do. It is this business I have created, and it is a huge, huge, huge passion of mine to help other women, leaders, entrepreneurs, just inner growth enthusiasts, really helping them navigate this inner world journey that so many of us are on. And usually it's those, in the coaching and the leadership side of things, we place a huge emphasis on growth and that sense of inner growth. And so that is just a huge, huge part of my journey. And I'm extremely passionate about helping other people in that same capacity. So that's what we're going to chat about today, is this personal development industry and what I believe is a huge missing piece in the industry itself, and really this place that I have really begun moving into and talking more about in the last probably 6 months or so, maybe even a year, as this almost this new paradigm that I am standing for when it comes to inner growth, the personal development world of things. Because a wise mentor of mine has really helped me understand the energetics of not standing against things, because that is a very fighting, destructive type energy, but more of a standing for something, standing for a new way, standing for something more in a creative, life-giving capacity. And so I want to share with you my journey and why I really saw this missing piece of the puzzle, and why it's become this huge realm and passion of mine to help guide other leaders and coaches and, just inner growth lovers onto this journey. And what that missing piece is, if you have been following me on Instagram for any length of time, you will know that this missing piece that I talk about all the time is the word embodiment. And the somatic intelligence and the emotional realm is where I really love to help people, and where it showed up for me and changed my life in the biggest way. And that's why it's so important and near and dear to me, is because it was that true missing piece of the puzzle for me on my personal development journey. And now I've taken it upon myself for the last 2 years to be studying about it, understanding it more, why it's important, and really getting to like the nitty gritty of things. Because it's one thing to just like hear it in passing, but it's another thing to actually dive into it and understand it and move through life with it. And when we do, within myself, and I've seen it in every single client that I've worked with, when we move things in the more embodied, emotional, and somatic way, the body way, the changes and the transformation that happens are so incredible and such longer lasting than any sort of growth that we try to do with just our mind alone. So I truly believe that the embodiment path is so vital on anyone's personal development journey. And I'm going to share with you just some personal stories and kind of reasons why I believe that this is a needed thing for anyone who is going on their personal development journey, who's, trying to better themselves. And really, it's such a vital piece for any coach, any leader who is working with other clients, and really helping them understand that like you being in your body and being able to navigate that is one, going to help your clients do that. And then these are things that you can actually help them get into their body and move through things in such a different way. So when we talk about embodiment, this was like a word that was brand new to me 2 years ago. I had no idea what the word embodiment was. Like I heard it in passing. I heard maybe a coach here or there talking about embodiment. And I was just like, okay, so you become what you desire, right? Like that was my only real understanding of the embodiment side of personal growth and emotional healing, was you think what you want to do or to have happen in your life, and then you have to just become it. You have to think about it all the time. You have to eat and breathe and become it, and be it. And so that was really my only understanding of embodiment at that time 2 years ago. And so I was on this little personal development journey, and I'm reading all the books, about how to make your life better and how to take your power back and unleashing the power within, right? Like I went to UPW with Tony Robbins, with a dear friend of mine, and I was like, yes, like I've got it all figured out in my mind. I'm gonna do the damn things that I want to do. I'm gonna change my family's life, and we're gonna have this just life of our dreams, and I got it. Like I got the plan forward. Now let's go. Let's do it. And I've always had this sense of me of like going first and being the leader and helping others through that. And so the personal development journey was like so just like second nature to me. I'm like, yes, like let's bring it on. And so I'm navigating life. I'm trying to read the books. I'm trying to listen to the podcasts and hype myself up and motivate myself and think greater and move through life with like that, just the epic mindset, right? Like I can do it all. I can be it all. I am my most powerful, yada, yada, like all the visualizations and all the affirmations, and whew, something difficult would happen. And I'm like, ugh. Okay, but this isn't part of like what I thought in my head, it was going to be like, okay, I can mindset my way out of this. Okay, we got it. Okay. I just got to think something differently. Okay. All right. That kind of like helped things a little bit. Right? Is any of this like, whoop, yep, called out? So I keep going. Mindset, think your way through it, mind over matter. And I keep hitting these roadblocks. I keep feeling like an imposter. I keep having such terrible confidence. I keep having these stories of limiting beliefs and how I'm not good enough and just you failed at this and so this and this and that and that. And I keep feeling blocked within my body. I keep feeling these emotions coming up within me. And I'm like, gosh, okay, what is this personal development book? What does this teacher say about the energy in the body, the emotions, the feelings, right? And everything I was reading in that part of my journey towards the beginning, where it's all about mindset and thinking your way through things, every single thing talking about emotions was all kind of like negative towards emotions. Like, the whole mind over matter type of things. Like, don't listen to the body. The body is a liar. Only listen to, trying to think differently with things. And so I went through this period where anytime I felt any sort of, at that time, I would call it negative emotions, I would either try to push it away right away with different thoughts, or I would get really mad at myself and be like, why am I feeling this? Like, this isn't okay. Like, these feelings need to go away. Be out of here, emotions. And there was this sense of just trying to control my emotional state, trying to control the feeling in my body of frustration or feeling blocked or feeling stressed. And I would try to control my way out of those emotions because I saw my emotional state as something to be forced through. I saw it as something potentially bad, and I saw it as something that we had to like manipulate and try to change. And I went on that path for a while with believing that about the emotional realm and trying to think my way, affirm my way through everything. And I hit this point where I'm like, I'm not making any progress. Like, I don't feel better about myself. I don't feel like anything truly has changed in my life. I still am thinking about and feeling crappy about certain things in my life. Like, I thought this personal development journey, all the things I'm reading and listening to, I thought this was supposed to make me just like, I love my life. My life is incredible, right? There was still so much internal turmoil that I was trying to navigate, and I didn't feel like I had any clue what the hell I was doing. I was just like trying to think. I was trying to logic. I was trying to affirmation my way through what was happening at any given point in my life and in my body. And then my life changed forever when embodiment and emotional connection landed in my lap through a certification program, and it changed and saved my life. I fully believe that embodiment and emotional healing saved my life. And what happened on that certification program, and now beyond, because I have gone through my own, growth of it, wasn't just a certification that was like, this changed everything. It was me actually living and applying and becoming these pieces that I learned and doing my own deep dive into this way of living. It became a way of life. And what happened in those 10 months of that certification program and beyond is I came back home to my body. The entire journey before that, I was trying to live life through my head. I was trying to live life through my mind, through my thoughts, what was happening inside my head, but I was so disconnected from what was happening in my body, right? Because I had this negative outlook, this negative perception of my emotional realm, that I was so disconnected from my body that I had to come home. I had to come back. And that is what the true embodiment piece, the embodiment journey, is all about. It is an empowered act of self-reclamation. Not just reclamation of our thoughts, but it is a self-reclamation of all of the pieces of us. Our thoughts, our body, our sensations, our emotions, our nervous system, all of these aspects of our being, our energy, our energetic state. And so embodiment is truly the anchoring back into and becoming aware of life happening within the body. Not life happening up in the head, in the thoughts, in the trying to think our way out of things, but actually anchoring back into what is happening in the body, in the energy coursing through us. And what had happened on my personal development journey that was all rooted up in the head is I lost connection to feeling life through my body. I was trying to feel better in life by trying to think my way better. But what I've learned on this journey is we can't think our way to feeling better. We have to feel our way to feeling better. And the only way to feel our way to feeling better is to become better feelers. And so that is truly what embodiment is coming back into the body, being in the body, seeing the value and the truth and the wisdom that is held within this innate intelligence. So we think so often, and we live in a culture and a society that puts logic and cognition on this pedestal, right? And so as we're moving through life, as we're learning to move through life, everything is about thinking. Everything is about thinking through it. What's the logical thing? What's the realistic thing, right? And so we place such massive emphasis on our head, on our thinking, on our mind, that we as a society, as a culture, have completely disassociated and disconnected from so much innate wisdom that is held within the body. And your body holds the memory of every single thing that you have ever experienced, that you've ever thought, that you've ever felt. The body holds on to this. And so it's this beautiful reclamation when we start doing more embodiment work and emotional healing work in our personal growth journey, because our body tells its own story of what we've been through, of what we want to grow through, and it is capable of so much growth and healing and reclaiming our power. But if we aren't connected into the body, it's hard, trust me, it is hard to access this innate wisdom that's trying to propel us forward for greatness, because we're trying to only reason and logic our way there. But what I have experienced is so much of the magic of personal growth, of creating a life that feels like a dream life, so much of that is not reasonable. It is not logical. And you must be connected to the body, to the feeling, to the emotions of that if you're going to truly take those steps forward to a life of magic, not just a realistic life. So, what had to change for me on that journey of shifting from heavy mindset personal development was learning to come back and befriend, make friends, like actually form a relationship with my body. And here I am, I've done nutrition work and I've been a personal trainer and I love healthy living and all of those things. So I'm like, oh yeah, I have a great relationship with my body. Like, I love my body. But when I actually started diving into the emotional realm and the embodiment realm, I realized that I was highly disconnected from seeing my body as my friend and as a valuable like thing that's giving me insight and help. I just kept seeing my body as like, it's just this thing that carries you around and we need to take care of it so we can have a long life, but don't you dare feel anything negative. Don't you dare take us down this. So I was like, was not an actual friend to my body. It was just like I'm going to control you. I expect this out of you. I expect perfection. And if you don't give me perfection, I'm going to disown you and be really mad at you. Right? Like, nobody would stick around for that type of friendship. That is I was being a terrible friend to my body. Let's just say that. Even though I was taking care of it with the right foods and moving my body and all of that, I was actually highly disconnected from an actual relationship with my body. And with embodiment growth, embodiment side of personal development, we can't heal our past and we can't enjoy the present and make a better future for ourselves if we aren't at home in our body, if we don't understand the beautiful wisdom that our body is capable of giving us. And so I see so many coaches and practitioners and people on a personal growth development journey who are amazing people, but I can just tell by the way that they talk about personal growth or healing or emotions that they are highly disconnected from their body because they still talk about emotions as this kind of separate realm from who they are and something that they have to control. And they aren't truly utilizing the powerful wisdom from those emotions and from what their body is trying to tell them. And this is the biggest game changer. Let me tell you. When we befriend our body again, and we don't try to dictate what we're feeling, and we don't try to control the good and the bad emotions, we start to see that the body is always talking to us. And it's talking to us through a language of feeling. So these are the sensations. These are the emotional states we get in. This is the heart racing or the stomach, contracting, or actual pain in the body, or really great feelings in the body, right? It's not just pain. But we're always being communicated to with our body. But because, again, that we've focused so much up in our head for so long, we have lost this connection to this communication in our body that's happening all of the time. Like, it is happening at any given moment. And what is true is ultimately it's our choice to listen to our body, to our sensations, to our emotions. And these sensations and our emotions are an huge part of our innate intelligence, not just intelligence of the mind, but actually the innate intelligence of our entire kind of ecosystem happening of our being, right? We have this intelligence happening within our mind, but also within our emotions, within our sensations, within our nervous system, within our connective tissue, within our muscles, within our heart, within our gut, within our sacral, within our energy body. We have so much communication happening, but again, we've been sucked up into the head and we try to see life through just the lens of this tiny, tiny little part of our ability to navigate life. And that's through, again, the cognitive part of our brain. But what we actually have are huge, huge parts of our brain that are connected to our body that is solely based on feeling, solely based on sensations. And so if we try to cut that part out of the equation of how we grow and navigate life, we're cutting off a huge part of what makes us us and what intelligence we truly have available to us. So the ability to change and transform, like so many of us are on in this personal development journey, or being our true self, or living our dream life and helping others and doing all of these big, grand things, the ability to do all that is found actually more in the body than it is in the mind, in what you can even think about. There's also then this realm of the subconscious, which we're not going to get in today, but I'm going to do a whole nother podcast episode on the power of the subconscious. But the subconscious itself, as we think, it's called the subconscious mind. So we think it's just, again, stored up in the mind, but the subconscious is held within your energy body and it's held within your physical body. And so again, if we're not in touch with our body, with our emotions, with our sensations, again, we're losing sight on so much communication, because it's only about 5%, which is our conscious mind. That's only 5% of what's actually going on, what we think, what we, believe, how we behave, what our actions are. 5% of that is driven by our conscious mind. 95% of what's really going on, like why you do the things you do, why you are the way you are, is your subconscious. 95. And 95% of that subconscious is going to be communicating to you through your body, through your sensations, through your emotions. So with embodiment, I learned to not push my feelings away. Are there still uncomfortable ones? Absolutely. Is there still pain that happens or things that don't feel good? Of course. But the embodied side of personal development is all about anything that comes up, anything that's showing up in my body, in a sensation, in an emotional state, doesn't have to be forced to be different. It doesn't have to be controlled. It doesn't have to be manipulated or changed. What's coming up now is data. It's intelligence. It's talking to me. There's something in that energy. There's something in that sensation, in that emotion that has vital information for me, for my growth, for my evolution forward. And now it's up to me to say, am I going to listen to this? Am I going to feel through this? Am I going to just let myself be with this energy? Or am I going to just keep pushing it away? Am I going to keep making the energy wrong? And I did that for a really long time. I made what I was feeling wrong. But what shifted for me, and why I'm even here on a podcast, why I can show up the way I do and feel like I'm navigating my life in a true empowered way, is because I'm able to feel. I'm able to not run from scary emotions. I'm able to actually sit with discomfort in my body and know that that's data. Know that there is powerful communication happening. And when something painful comes up or uncomfortable comes up, I know that there's a wound here. There's something coming up in my body that's asking. It's asking to be looked at. Just like, let's say, a small child, when they get hurt, they come to you like, look at my finger. My daughter just did this morning. Like, look at this ouchie, right? If I just brushed her off and was like, there's no ouchie there, you're fine. Like, just think your way through it. She'd be like, oh my gosh, like, Mom, like, what? Don't you love me? You know, that sort of thing. I don't know if that's what she would think, but that's my representation of it. But no, we would never do that to a child, right? Like, we hold that child. We look at their wound with them. We help them feel the pain. We're like, it's okay. You can feel this. It's the same thing with our sensations. It's the same thing with our emotions. We don't push them off like they're nothing. We bring them in. We're like, okay, oh, what is this? Okay, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Okay, can I be with this? Like, clearly there's a wound here. There's something that wants to be felt. There's something that wants to be held and navigated. Okay? So we are going to jam so much more on all of this, but I wanted to share today why embodiment in the personal development world, why this piece of our body and our sensations and our emotions are extremely important. They are a massive piece of why we are who we are and why we do the things that we do. But if we keep pushing the feelings and the emotions away, all we're doing is pushing ourselves away. We're pushing our wounds away. We're pushing our subconscious away. We're pushing our nervous system away. And the true growth has not happened for me in my mind. The true growth has been in the body, of learning to hold my emotional states, learning how to be with my sensations without making it wrong or without running from it. Because what I did when I ran from my stuff and then tried to think my way through it is I told these deeper parts of me, like, you don't matter, go away. But then they kept coming up. And so that's why I kept feeling blocked and stuck and trapped when I was just trying to move through life with my head, is those feelings and those sensations, their energy. They want to be felt, they want to be acknowledged, and they want to be alchemized out. But when we disconnect from the body and when we make our sensations and our emotions wrong, all we do is we stop that natural flow of alchemization to happen. We don't accept it, and so we just keep pushing it back down. Well, just again, like a persistent child, they're just going to keep coming back. They're just going to keep knocking. And there has to be a point that we stop pushing them away and that we acknowledge it and that we begin understanding that there is incredible wisdom here. My body is talking to me. It's trying to help me grow. It's trying to heal. But I keep choosing to push it away. And so we have a choice to keep trying to navigate life with just our head and keep feeling blocked and stuck and trapped and not actually feeling the fullness of life, not being a good feeler, right? Trying to think our way to feeling better. Or we can begin to shift our awareness that there is a lot going on in my body. And I actually get to utilize that as wisdom and form relationship with my sensations and my emotions. And then life completely shifts. And you can handle so much, and you want to do so much, and your journey forward is such a different way than only trying to think your way forward. You actually begin to flow with life, and it is amazing. It's still challenging at times, but you feel so much better and so much safer and so much more powerful, which is one of the greatest gifts that I have felt with this work. So that is our episode for today. I could talk about all of this for hours, but we're not going to do that. But just know that there's so much more coming your way in the realm of nervous system and emotional healing and understanding, the subconscious and all of that, so much more, because this is such a vital piece of this puzzle for anybody on this personal development journey, wanting to be a better coach, a better leader, really feeling like they're living on purpose, not just trying to think through life, but actually feeling life and understanding that innate sense of power and wisdom within them. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will chat with you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Be Your Purpose podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and please make sure to rate and leave a review and also subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling inspired and know that someone else would benefit from this conversation, then please make sure to share this episode over on your social media platform and make sure to tag me at Courtni Allison. I can't wait to build purpose-filled lives with you. Take care for now.